Hello, kids, and welcome once again to the VGF Power Up. And I don't know why I said Power Up right there. You know why I said that, Dan? I said that because I'm psyched for Power Up 2011. For any kids out there who are not going to it, you should be ashamed of yourself. But this is not Power Up podcast. This is the Strat Corner podcast. A little slip on my part, but you know what? It works because we love our Midwest. We love our tournaments. And you
slips. I mean, accidents happen.
Yeah, they do happen. You know. So I'm kind of excited.
We're just done with that.
Well, I'm kind of excited to do this podcast for one reason and one reason only, just to get this fucking character out of the way, and it is Nina Williams. And it's kind of like Fang. It's kind of like that relationship. I just hate her. She's a dumb character.
She's kind of a cunt.
Yeah, just a little bit.
That's going to be my word of the podcast for this character. She's a fucking cunt.
Yep. And I will completely endorse that if we want to do our own promotions.
Today's cuntcast
yes.
is brought to you by Extents.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm so glad that you beat me to it. So I guess we'll just jump right in and get this bitch over with.
Jump into this cunt.
Yeah. I see what you did there. You're so okay, so as always, just a little short kind of summary of this character for those who aren't familiar and like you're going to a tournament and you think you're going to run into some...
Break this cunt down.
Yep. She has some range issues, so if you play the spacing game, that's going to be your best bet to beat her. And she struggles the most with characters that are good at spacing game, a la Dragunov. And that's for you, Dan.
All Mishimas, too.
Yeah. And she has some issues tracking to her right. She can do it, but it is still a weakness nonetheless. And pretty much that's it. Everything else she is really, really solid in. So we'll just jump. Yeah. And we'll just jump into the specifics then after that. I guess we'll just kind of roll with that summary. Her tracking, I guess we could talk about first. She can track to the right. And you play against Nina far more than I do, Dan, so feel free to jump in whenever. But I know that down forward 2 tracks to the right, but and I believe down 3 or down back 3, the low.
She has no real tracking problem. I mean, you can say that she has a tracking problem just to limit her game or whatever. But, I mean, she has a low that tracks. She has mids that track. Her down forward 2 tracks to her right, and that's her weaker side.
Yeah.
And all that shit. You just want to keep mixing up your game against her, but yeah, ultimately she has no fucking tracking problem whatsoever. She's a retarded cunt.
I know that down forward 12 also tracks.
That is specifically what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That shit tracks perfectly.
I did. That move is really, really stupid. And one thing, I remember the last time that I played against Nina, when you guys were down here, fucking forward 3, the first hit does not track right, but the second
No, they both track.
Forward 3, when you guys were down here, I didn't really have a problem sidestepping that at all, but I would keep trying, for whatever reason, I kept trying to attack after I successfully sidestepped the first hit, and then the second hit would get me. So I know that you can do it. I know that you can sidestep the first hit, but if you do sidestep it, you're going to have to duck and punish. But back to your point, I mean, you can sidestep her to the left, but she does have answers for it, and some pretty nasty answers.
Mix up your direction on sidestepping too. You don't want to just let her do down forward too. That makes her tracking, more rewarding to one direction or whatever.
That's true. I also should mention, I think both. Well, maybe not both ways, but specifically the sidestep left. The reason that I mention that is because I know that you can sidestep down forward 1-2, which a lot of Nina scrubs just love to just do that over and over.
Interesting fact about down forward 1-2.
Hit me.
You can sidestep either way. However, if you sidestep to the right, your right, Nina's left, the down forward 1 will hit you, the 2 will miss no matter what, and you can fucking launch her.
That is sweet. That is good information. I actually did not know that.
That is an interesting little detail. I mean, you got to be worried about her doing like another hit afterwards or whatever. But so if you really want to be safe, just sidestep, get hit with the first one. The punch will miss, the right punch, and then go for something like a 12-frame punish or whatever. But that is pretty fucking interesting.
Yeah, which depending on your character, it might be totally worth it. Just to take your 12-framer and move on. I'm actually going to have to remember that because I always saw her right side as the weaker of the two, but especially against people who, I mean, even good Nina players, down forward 1-2 is still, bread and butter, so because it jails. So, I mean,
her tracking issues are fucking non-existent. The only reason I really sidestep is because up forward 1 is so fucking retarded, so you might as well sidestep to make that fucking move less usable.
Yeah, and anything you can do to help your cause against Nina is definitely something that you should consider. So that's the sidestepping issue, but let's get into the bigger issue, and that's spacing. She has long range moves, but again, correct me if I'm wrong, Dan, but like a lot of her, I would say, beyond range 3, maybe even range 3, depending on like what character you're talking about.
I would just go down range 2.
Range 2.
Range 2, she's fucking useless. I mean, she has her moves like up forward 1 is a fucking insane advancing, safe, tech crouch recovering, normal hit, juggle start. Fuck that move. But range 2, I mean, she's pretty fucking pathetic. She has to use shit like 1+4 and all that junk. And actually, from range 2, I mean, your options are pretty good after you've blocked 1+4. Sometimes the second hit will even miss, and then you can launch her.
Huh. Nice.
It's really fucking rare. Don't fucking try to count on it or anything like that. But range 2 is where I would say that she starts to get more useless and everything.
I see. See, I figured that, because of the range on stuff like back 1+4 and forward 3, that range 2 wouldn't be a huge problem, and I know down forward 3 reaches pretty far, but
down forward 3 does reach pretty far, but unless she does the second hit, you can even launch her on block for just that move. And if she does the second hit of any of the variations, it's high, duck it, fucking kill her. So, I mean, that's something that you want her to use. And then, like those other 2 moves that you listed, back 1+4, forward 3, those moves get her killed.
Yeah.
You just fucking slaughter her for those. In fact, I like to sidestep to make them try to use forward 3 because it's their most rewarding tracker. Like, they're all good, but if she wants to go for more than just a little bit of damage or whatever, make her fucking use it.
Nice.
Make her try to use the frames, everything.
All right. Well, I guess we should kind of explain a little bit for kind of newer players out there, or even not newer players, but just people who may not be used to Nina. We're specifically talking about block right now, because I mean, because of the range on stuff like back 1+4 and forward 3, and all that other jazz, and even if you want to include stuff like forward 12, whatever. I mean, you'll get killed on width, even at a long range. So, I mean, when you're playing the spacing game, it's really important, to be blocking this sort of stuff and not just throwing stuff out nonchalantly. Because even though we're talking about the spacing game and we're talking about that is going to be your focal point when you're playing against her, it's still you don't want to just throw shit out because you're at range 4.
No.
So.
You gotta be worried about whiff and shit, but the best part of her spacing game is her fucking Magic 4. It eliminates most of her problems because, if you have to attack her, she has the Magic 4 to silence a lot of your game. So you have to play really fucking patient against her. Pick your shots.
And that's one of my biggest complaints just about her period is like not only does she just have all this garbage, but I mean, and she has stuff like Magic 4. Like, why?
And a safe uppercut.
Yeah, and why does this character need all this crap? But
well, the one that pisses me off is she has all these moves. She has all these really good trackers. She has that fucking while standing 1. That's granted, it's not like something that leads to a ton of damage unless your back's to the wall or whatever, but she didn't really need a 13-frame, perfectly fucking tracking mid-advancing move that recovers as fast as it does.
Yeah. No,
It's fucking retarded.
I completely agree with that. I fucking hate that move. And that move alone makes her the best wall carry character in the game, assuming that you can do instant while standing. Well, I shouldn't say best. I think that the best...
Up there, at least.
Yeah, I think the best wall... Well, I actually think she's number 2, because the only person I would put above her is Lee, because of back 2. But essentially, instant while standing 1 and back 2 are the same kind of move. I mean, they're advancing moves that I actually don't know 100% how fast back 2 is, but I have to imagine it's about 13 frames, maybe a little slower. I'm not 100% sure, but in either case, they're moves.
Yeah, I want to say it's like 15 or 16.
Okay, well, even then, I mean, it's still a move that is incredibly fast and advances the character juggling forward.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's only one hit.
And it resets the juggle hit, too. Like, it pops them up more than it really needs to.
Yeah, it's really... And even if back 2... if Lee's back 2 is 15 frames, you figure instant while standing is still going to be at least 14 frames, So it's about the same, and I think they even do the same amount of damage. So, he would be the only character that I can think of that would have a better wall carry than she does, and it's just absolutely stupid when you can do that damn move. Well, I think
over and over and over.
What is it? Even with a bound, I think it's like 8, 9. It's something stupid and ridiculous that you can get, because you can get like 5 and then a bound, and then you can get like 3 more. It's retarded. But yeah.
We digress.
Yeah. Well, I guess not really. I mean, we're talking about her and how fucking stupid she is. But okay, so we talked about the spacing game. So let's just go into like other categories and I guess try to flesh that out a little bit. Okay, so her punishers. So we talked a little bit about the while standing punish, but I don't know if I'd call it necessarily a weakness, but she is weaker in the lower frame punishes. Because, you figure at 10 frames for standing, she gets just 1-2, or she can do 1-4. But 1-4 leaves her at, -5 or 6. So that's,
still a good chunk.
It's a good chunk, but it doesn't do so much more than jabs. I mean, if I was a Nina player, I would rather take my jabs plus frame advantage and have a little bit less damage.
That's another thing. Even if she does 1-2 or whatever, I don't think her frames are sitting too well.
1-2 leaves her at +4.
+4?
Yeah, so.
Then I stand corrected.
And which +4?
I would still rather play, a +4 game against her there than, you just ate 1-4-3 from fucking Bruce.
Yeah, exactly. I absolutely agree. Which is what, again, 1-2 jabs plus frame advantage isn't the best scenario to be in against a character like Nina, but it's definitely not the worst compared to some other characters, especially when you have, Mishimas who have 1-1-2. At 11, she's one of the weird characters that has a quicker 4, and that's 11 frames, which, going back to... we were talking about Magic 4. I mean, hers is even faster than other characters, which is I just don't get it. But it is what it is.
Namco.
Yeah, and so you can do your 4 if you want to. Luckily, she has no string off of 4. That's just
4-3.
No, I mean that's just a natural combo.
Oh,
so,
right.
So you don't have to worry about eating anything more than the 4 at 11 frames.
I do think she gets she can do the low without it being parried, though. So I think you have to at least block that. That much she has going for her.
Oh yeah, I mean I guess you could continue to go in the string if you want to. But and then at 12 frames she has back 2-2, which is essentially the same scenario, at least damage and hit wise and whatnot, as 1-4, except this time she has frame advantage.
Does she get the whole string? I thought that she got the whole back 2-2, whatever the fuck it is.
As far as I know, it's just back 2-2. I don't think.
Then that's a better scenario than I expected.
Nice. Well, there you go. You're welcome, Dan. I'm glad I could give you something.
That's what we do here on this show. We try to help people learn.
We do. We give each other stuff all the time. And then
wink, wink,
wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And then 13 frames, she can start going into her down forward 1 string. So down forward 1/2 is really stupid, 27 damage, and gives her frame advantage. Pretty lame.
Don't get, like, even, don't undersell just hitting down forward 1, no 2. The frames after she hits that shit, fuck me!
Yeah, it's, according to this, it's,
Stupid cunt.
yeah, it's +5. So, I mean, that's not fun. Not fun at all.
That's don't fuck around frames.
No, absolutely. I mean, you pretty much have to stand there. And that's one of the, like, just the things with this character that's really, really annoying is so much of her stuff is, it just puts her in such a good situation. Even the little stupid shit.
It's because of her panic buttons. Even when she's not, like, she doesn't require as many frames to control you as most characters. Like, most characters need the don't fuck around down forward 1 type of frames or whatever. She can get away with down forward 1/2, a lot less frames, and
Yeah.
then she can sidestep 2 or some other fucking panic bullshit.
Well, the down forward 1/2 specifically is really stupid to me because, like almost every other character, when they have little stupid poking strings like that, it never jails. You know, it's kind of the point of that is because it's so good that you know, kind of your
There's a weakness.
Yeah, the balance to the move is the fact that if you block it, you'll have the opportunity to dunk and punish. But no, not with her. Why? Yeah, why
No.
should she have a balance? Just it's okay. Give her that. It's no big deal.
Her negative situation, even after it's down forward 1/2 has been blocked, is like, same mix up.
You know, I am curious what it is on. Man, let's see. Blue, 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 blue. Down.
Gotta be like -3. I don't know.
It's a good question because according to the frame data, it doesn't have. Oh, there it is. Yep, -3. So yeah.
Man, I am fucking good, and I don't even look at that shit.
So relatively speaking, I mean, for her, I mean that's phenomenal to be able to just throw that out and only be at -3. I mean, you're getting close to the don't fuck around frames, but you're still out of it. So
Yeah, and her don't fuck around frames are different than most characters because it can sidestep 2, up forward 1.
For Magic 4 being a frame faster.
Magic 4 being a frame faster, being able to do that crouch dash backwards, the Hayashida, that auto blocks lows.
Yeah, that shit is stupid. I hate that move. Hate it.
Fucking, she has the evasive moves that she can even do out of that too.
Yeah.
She can do her up back 2, hit confirm it, and then do whatever the fuck the other hit is. 1.
The up.
She can do her. Yeah, she has like new fucking punches.
Well, I know.
The hit confirm launcher.
Do you mean the up forward too?
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think it's up forward too. Because I know the up forward. I don't know of an up back 2 string, but I think I know what you're talking. Because it looks like it almost looks like it's a crouching from or while standing.
Oh no, it does. It is. It is.
No,
I
I mean,
fucking duck shit.
I know that it does, but I mean it looks like that's how you would input it, but you don't. It's an up forward move, and yeah, that's really stupid. That it just has the built-in tech crouch, but.
And fucking hit confirm. I can't believe that shit's hit confirmable. It's just fucking retarded to me.
Which means that, I mean, we were talking about it when we were talking about Heihachi, how there's different ways to play him, which is part of the fun for me for that character. And Nina is the same way, but it's really gay because she can incorporate all of these different styles, and they're all good, no matter which one you do. And, you were talking about the hit confirm. If you just throw that move out, it's hard. I mean, for you as the defensive player, as the defender, it's really hard to want to take the risk and do something after that. Because if the one hits you, it'll launch. So
you have to try to punish just the one hit every now and again or something, just to keep them honest, make them throw out the other shit.
Oh, I absolutely agree. I just think it's really stupid that as a defender you have to be put in that situation.
No, I completely agree. And she gets a better juggle if the second hit's counter hit, which is even worse.
Yeah. Ugh. Dumb. All right. Well, okay. So now we've talked about that.
How fast is that move?
Up forward 2?
Yeah.
16. No, 18. Sorry. 18.
Oh, then who the fuck cares?
Oh yeah, I
thought maybe it could have been like a Punisher or something. No.
I know that at least when I watch Nina players, that they typically like to do that launcher instead of just like while standing 2 or whatever. after like a big low is blocked that has a big block stun to it. I see that happening a lot. So I can only imagine that is one of her higher damaging launchers, but
I think while standing 2 would get her more damage for sure.
Weird.
Or stand up divine cannon or some shit. Whatever the fuck it is people do. But because when she does up forward 2-1 or whatever, it automatically bounds too, so she's not getting...
the 1 does bound, yes. You're correct.
So they shouldn't be doing that.
Weird. Well, in any case, she has that option at 18 frames. But back to the standing punishers that we were talking about. At 14 is when it gets really bad. She has forward 3, which is really stupid. She can do down forward 3 and then do whichever one you want, either down forward 3-2 or down forward 3-4. Although, to be completely honest with you, I don't know why you would want to do that when you have 3-4. I mean, if you're in range of 3-4, I believe that's the highest damaging 14 frame she has, and it knocks down, and it wall splats. So.
Well, it's just another option because it's a mid. That's all.
Yep.
And that's the name of Nina's game. This is the only reason to complain is she always has another fucking option.
Yep. And it seems like even if her move is high, it really doesn't matter. It's still good, and somehow does something else that's really awesome. Whether it tech
forward 3
or something. Who knows?
Forward 3 may be duckable on the second hit, but it's hard to do or hard to train yourself to do when you're focusing on something else. It gives her massive frames if you didn't.
Yeah,
it also fucking tracks. It gives you a counter hit fucking stun. She always has fucking more properties to whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, and I think that's just absolutely ridiculous. And it's really funny when I think about her as a character, because she's one of those characters that even if you have played against her and you know her, she's still a top-tier character, and she's really, really dumb because of all the shit that she has. But if you don't know her and you haven't really played against her all that much, researching her, it can help you a little bit, but she's one of those characters that she will just slaughter you if you don't know what you're doing. If you've never played against a Nina, you don't know Nina.
Shout out to Reggie.
Yeah. shout out to Reggie for you. And I guess
Mr. Delicious, guys.
Yeah, he's the only Nina.
He's pretty good.
He's the only Nina. Oh yeah, he's definitely a good player, and he's the only Nina I ever get to play against. So yeah, I'm glad he's around because she's a bitch, and having that experience just helps so much.
I wish we could bitch him out on this podcast, like blame fucking Nina's existence.
Oh, yeah, I wish, but unfortunately we have to blame Tom Hilfiger for that. So
that also,
he's the one. I mean, he's the one who made her even remote.
Americanized this garbage.
Yeah, so, and which sucks, but I mean, I guess it's a good thing because I don't think a lot of people would play her if he hadn't come out of the woodwork and shown people
made it fancy.
How good it really is. But I mean, you have to keep that in mind, though. I mean, for all you players out there who may not have, a lot of playing experience, or worse yet, if you have a lot of people around you that are playing, but none of them are playing Nina, tell one of those motherfuckers to pick this character up because you're going to need that experience. And there's not a whole lot of other characters that are really like that, to the extent that she is. Like, the shenanigans characters are like that. Eddie, Raven. Ling.
She's all that amalgam plus she's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, plus just all of the solid shit that you would expect a top tier character to have. Speaking of which, we already talked about the Magic 4. At 15 frames, she gets down forward 2 because she has to have a generic down forward 2 that is completely safe. I mean.
Oh, I haven't said cunt in a while.
Yeah,
cunt in a while.
There you go. Thank you. Thank you so much for throwing that in there. And that shit is just so stupid to me. I mean, ugh.
However, I guess if you're playing the whip punishing game, that is your best thing to look for.
Yeah, that's true, because it does, of her very, very few moves that recover slowly, that's one of them. So
that's still worthwhile for her to throw out or whatever.
Yeah, and that's another thing that we should talk about is the whole like one of my biggest complaints playing against Nina is that everything recovers so fast. And, we've actually talked to a few players about this, Dan, you and I. There are some characters, or just some moves specifically, if you're just, you're breaking down a character like that, even though they're unsafe technically, they're not as unsafe as other moves because the frames in which you both recover aren't as long. So, like, if you take what's a really good example? Like, take one of any of the characters that have a shoulder. I think there's a bunch. So you take any one of those. Pretty much everyone is launch punishable, and it's launch punishable because he sits there and he takes forever to recover. And a lot of
scratches his fucking dick, does his taxes,
but up until
assembles a puzzle.
But up until the -15, your character is recovering as well. So you have some time to think, process the fact that you just blocked this punishable move, and then punish it. Whereas Nina, and there's a few other characters out there like this as well, but most of her moves are not like that. I mean, both of you recover like that. I mean, it's done, and you need to understand and punish them.
That's a good point, too. A lot of her safe shit, you have to take advantage. Like, if you want to play against Nina and you want to play safe, you have to take advantage of any situation that does leave her in don't fuck around frames. That's really fucking important, actually. Because she's got moves, like up forward 1. That shit is safe. There's nothing you can do after you block it, but because of her frame situation, even though she recovers crouching, you have to take advantage of the fact that she can't do anything. So, like, a good example is after I block up forward 1, I like to do the 12-frame low generic kick, because she can't crush it. She can't step it. She has to fucking tell herself, okay, I'm just going to low parry it or whatever. She has lots of situations like that. She has down forward 2, leaves her at don't fuck around frames.
Yeah, and for all you naysayers out there, a generic down kick, just as a regular poke, is amazing for exactly this reason. I mean, it makes her think about stuff. Because now she's thinking about parrying, and now you have more frames.
It's not that the risk versus reward is in your favor, it's that she has to play a certain way now.
Yep.
She has to make a decision to block your fucking shitty move or whatever else. And anytime you can take a top-tier character and make them do one, defensive option, it fucking matters.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I'm so glad that you mentioned that and threw that out, because that is incredibly important, especially when you're playing with this dumb bitch. So yeah, and cool. Okay, so going back to the punishing. We talked about the down forward 2, and this is what I think is really stupid. At 16, she gets back 1+4, and my biggest complaint with back 1+4 is just the range on it. I mean,
fucking retarded.
No 16-frame launcher should have the range that move has.
And it's not just fucking mid, it is fucking crippling mid, where it never fucking whiffs.
Yeah, it's really stupid. And, it always made me curious, because, everybody and their mother can punish Death Fist now.
Oh, wait, hold on. Before we get too far with this, because the fucking people on the boards will, create some kind of situation where, oh my god, I was fucking wrong about it. Back 1+4, sure, if you step one way, the first hit'll hit and the second hit'll whiff or something, but you know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah, not if it hits you. Yeah. Not if you...
The shit'll still fucking hit you from half screen.
Yeah,
it's still only 16 frames.
Yeah, exactly. Not if you're fucking around and you're being a retard and you just throw something out.
I just don't want the 1 fucking % of shit that could be construed wrong or whatever.
Yeah, fair enough.
Bite me in my fucking nuts.
No, I'll give you that all day. Anytime you want to stop and make a statement like that, I got no problem with it. But that move always made me curious, because everybody and their mother can punish Death Fist now, but I was always curious why Death Fist was -16, and then thinking about it, I almost think like they made that.
Isn't it like -19?
Is it? I thought it was 16.
I think it's 19, and then it's 15 from up close.
Oh. See, I always thought it was 16. I guess I was wrong. I always just thought to myself, oh, launch, dead. But, I always thought that, the big frames the big negative frames on it now were always because of stupid shit like this. Like, these random, good characters that have these huge launchers like back 1+2. It's like, oh, let's make this move just negative enough so that they can get that, you know, and they can't have their standard launchers.
Yeah, there's no fucking rhyme or reason to it. I don't think everyone should get Half-Life off this thing, but...
Yeah.
And there's lots of characters that don't. Fucking forum kids.
Yeah. Yes, there are. I mean, well, hell, you know, Law is one of them, so... But, okay, so... you know, we talked earlier when we started up the conversation on Punishers. You know, the lower frame Punishers. If you have a character that has some really good moves that are only -10, -11, you're really going to want to stick with that. And the same is true for her while standing game. I mean, up until 13 frames when she gets that stupid while standing one bullshit, I mean, you're okay. I mean, at 10 frames, if you're close enough, whatever, you get the generic jab. At 11 frames, you only get her while standing 4, which is good because it gives her such good frame advantage. But
Universal while standing 4, one of the best moves in the game.
But relatively speaking, I much prefer eating that over a while standing 1+2 any day. So that's not bad. At 12 frames, she can get the generic low kick, but you know, why do that when you have while standing 4? So if you can work around with just those, you know, in the under 13 category, you won't get killed. And you're still going to shift the advantage to her, but you're not going to get completely annihilated. But then at 13 is when things start getting bad.
Oh, hold up. I mean, go ahead, but I want to mention something else.
Okay, well, I mean, I don't really have much else to add to that. At the -13 is when you start eating the while standing ones, which is just absolutely ridiculous. I hate that move so much. And I mean, just to make your life more miserable, obviously it knocks down, but it wall splats, which is really dumb. And then at 15, she of course has a while standing launcher in while standing 2. So I mean, it's short range, but you know, for anything that's going to be long range and launchable, 99% of the stuff out there is going to have some sort of big block stun that she can just cancel and, you know, do Divine Cannon if she's not in range of a while standing 2. So at -15, she's sitting really pretty. So,
yeah.
But go ahead. That's all I have on the punch.
Oh no, I have another interesting anti-Nina strat. I'd love to fucking talk about this.
Go ahead, throw it out there.
She has the tools to deal with this. Don't get me wrong, it's pretty obvious or whatever, but Nina is highly susceptible to being jumped over. It's fucking ridiculous. Anytime you expect her to do like some kind of panic button or whatever, like sidestep 2 or just a lot of her moves in general, you can, as a form of defense, you can try to jump over and try to go for like the crossover kick or something, especially if your character's one of the few that gets like a low-level combo or something off of it. It's just a fucking hilarious strat because, I mean, sometimes you'll even get the clean hit on the crossover kick, where then you get like a free low jab into whatever kind of shit too. But that strat is just fucking hilarious.
You know,
you wouldn't even believe some of the moves that it works against.
That's really funny because I do remember you mentioning that a while ago, and you're like, you know, last time I was playing, you should really try this when you play Nina. Is just try jumping over her. It's hilarious.
It is totally the best. In fact, if you're playing a Nina that loves to sidestep after stuff and just look for whiffs, go for it. Right there. That's your best fucking spot because sidestep 2 is the #1 move that this is crippled by. It's fucking hilarious.
That's awesome. That's another thing that I'm totally going to have to remember because I do recall you telling me that, but up until you just mentioned it now, I completely forgot.
There's half the cast that is completely susceptible to being crossover kicked by half of the cast. And Nina is actually one of the characters that isn't, but when she sidesteps, I think she's smaller still.
Huh.
There's characters like Ling and Julia. You can just cross over them with a jump kick whenever. Like if you can create a tech roll situation where they're going to stay in place, just fucking go for a crossover kick. I think Armor King is actually, your character, Armor King is one of the characters that can do it too, and he gets fucking massive damage because blind kick to the back.
That's true. I do know that. And, you know, that's actually something that I really should be looking more for.
Yeah, go test the characters. It's fucking hilarious.
I really should because, I mean, I don't do the jump over boot to the back of the head as much as I would like to, but I don't really know. Yeah, I mean, like you said, I mean, there's characters that can and are.
It's funny too which ones are susceptible to the crossover. It's not all the ones that you would think. Like Ling is an obvious one that you would think of, but then you would think Asuka would too. But somehow her stance prevents you from jumping over her. But then there's characters like Kazuya who look like he's got kind of the same stance, but you can just fucking cross him over all day too.
That's hilarious. Well, I guess it makes a little bit of sense with Asuka because her stance is really wide. Like she puts that 1 foot forward.
Maybe that's what it is too.
Yeah, because I mean Kazi is like I mean he's a big bodied character, but Asuka for whatever reason is like her step, you know, like she has a really wide stance. So length of the screen, you know, she's on that.
Yeah, I've got a lot of setups where if you just flip them at the end or whatever, if they tech roll, free crossover.
Oh, that's awesome. I do love the crossovers, and I actually just found another over this weekend with Armor King that I'm gonna have to test out. So, and throw it in there. And
I hope it doesn't work that good.
Of course you don't. But cool. That's excellent. I love those you know, the shenanigans defensive strategies that just.
So if you're looking for a random fucking strat that works against Nina, there you go. If she's in a really bad minus situation, it's pretty much always okay.
Nice, very nice. Okay, well I guess we've kind of chilled out on punishing for a while, so let's kind of move along to some other topics. So we kind of went over the whole poking game that she has. But I think we should kind of talk about that a little more, and specifically with her lows and how that translates into her Oki game. Because, I mean, you and I both agree on this, Dan, at least where she is on the tier placement. I mean, she's for sure top tier. And one of the reasons is, I mean, her Oki.
She's a big fucking cunt.
Yeah, well, that too. But specifically, I mean, you talked about the move, you know, while standing 1. Why give this character that was already good a while-standing, quick mid that...
Namco just wants to fucking make her good.
Yeah.
That's the only fucking reason there is. That is fucking retarded.
But
and then the fact that it recovers as crouching as it does.
Yeah.
You have to, like, sometimes wait for your fucking while-standing launcher. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that is really stupid. But kind of to go along with that, you know, when you talk about her lows, down back 3 is the same way. I mean, that was a weakness of hers. It was, you know, something to fear that was low. But
yeah.
Still, she didn't need that.
She never needed a low. She had no lows, but she never really needed it either. Because all of her throws give her so much fucking Oki. I think like every fucking one of them. And if it doesn't, it's like that fucking up forward both punches throw that does half life when it hits into the wall.
Yeah.
Sure, you get your free fucking low kick, but now it doesn't even juggle automatically.
But okay, so you get that, and I'm glad you mentioned her grab games because I mean it's just stupid. To, you know, again, to kind of go back to the why does she have all this shit? Not only are all of her grabs just good, like just her regular ones, and even if you want to throw in the, you know, up forward both punches or down forward both punches, you know, any of those grabs, but she has chain grabs. Why? Why did you give her?
Oh yeah, seriously, and we need to make them come right out of the crouch dash instantly now.
Yeah, and to make it worse, at any point, I'm pretty sure it's been a long time since I tested this, but I'm fairly certain that any of her chain grabs, if you stop at any point,
yep.
it gives her good Oki. So
if you break her shit, I don't think she's even at a bad situation. I think it might even be better for her.
I mean, this is stupid. Why did she have all that garbage?
Shit she doesn't need. Other characters get put into, like, a situation where they get a bad throw break or something, you know. Which she does actually have one of those, but it's fucking irrelevant. She's not eating much.
Yeah. And now she has, in addition to that down back 3 bullshit that she now has, she has that new string, down 2, is that right? Down 2-3?
Yeah.
I mean,
a tech crouch fucking low move that can hit grounded. Can even be used for wake-up combos.
Yeah, but to go, you know, back to the topic that we were talking about, why does she need that? Why did you have to give her that and down back 3? So you're just going to give her, okay, well, I mean...
The one weakness to down back 3 was that it doesn't tech crouch. Oh, here.
Yeah, here you go. Yeah, here's one that does. And I'm pretty sure just everything about the string is really good. Okay, that's actually... I am completely wrong. Down 2 on hit is -6. But, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, because it's just like a generic low kick. You know, even though you're at negative, it's still really good to do. So, I thought it put her at, I didn't think she was at advantage, but I thought she was at a way better situation than -6. But, hey, you know, we're learning. Right?
Well, it is because she has that second hit.
Which essentially makes it safe, yeah.
Yeah, because if you give up a counter hit on that hit, of course she gets half fucking life.
Yeah, of course. Cause
oh, I tried to punish that. Whatever.
So stupid. So stupid.
You have to respect the situation just in case she did that fucking hit.
Yeah, and I mean the down 2, even if you block it, isn't terrible. It's only -12. Whatever. I'll take my chances with that. I mean, take your wall standing 4, whatever. If I hit you, I get half life.
Dragunov, what?
Well, okay, that's true. he gets his shoulder, you know, with some exceptions. You know, relative to what you get with that move, -12 ain't bad.
This right here is a sneak preview, kids. When we get to the Dragunov, you're gonna hear me talking about the shoulder all day.
Oh yeah, well that's because it's fucking almighty. That move is really good. So
that is the fucking. Just wait till you hear it.
Just wait. Yeah, just wait, and just keep listening. So, okay, so we talked about the stupid lows, okies, and grabs, and you mentioned, you know, the half-life juggles and stuff, which is another thing that's just really stupid that I don't know why she has, but just her damage in general, in my opinion, is way too high. I mean, she still gets into the 80s with her juggles. If she hits off of something...
For how risky she is, yeah, it is way too high.
And especially, I mean, you mentioned Divine Cannon earlier. Are you kidding me? I mean, and if she gets you to the wall, good night. I mean, it's like, you know...
Divine Cannon is definitely not what it was, but...
Well, no.
It's just a whiff punisher that she has that she could use.
Yeah.
Most characters don't even have the choice.
Yeah, but even off of a, you know, down... she's still getting, you know, high 70s at least. I mean, if you can do the instant while standing 1 bullshit, she's getting into the 80s. And then off of other stuff, you know, that is intentionally evasive, like let's say, was it Haishida 4? Is that the launcher?
Yeah.
I mean,
that's fucking retarded.
I mean, the only time that's ever going to hit you is if you're doing something. So.
And what is that? That's only -14.
Yeah, it's stupid, but
with range that pushes off and.
Yeah, but I mean, if it hits, well, I need to look up the damage just on regular hit. It's not going to give me counter hit, but we can do math here. Okay, that's her crush.
Speak for yourself. I don't have my abacus handy. And it'll take me forever to do it on my nuts.
Okay, well...
1, 2... Okay, hold on. Redo. 3, 4...
What?
Carry the 1, please.
Weird, it does not have a Haishida step.
Whatever, the move's retarded.
It is.
I think it's only -14.
Well, whatever
it
does.
Tons of fucking damage. It ducks mids.
Yeah, it's just really stupid. And then the dumb is... and then, okay, her sidestep game is dumb enough as it is, but I guess specifically to damage, you know, sidestep 2 is another one of those moves that, you know, typically when it hits, you're in the middle of doing something, although it can be a little bit of a mix-up game. But, I mean, if that hit counter hit, she's still getting tons of damage. And then just her sidestep in general, like sidestep 1 into Haishida, what?
Sidestep 1, another fucking move.
Hey, why?
She doesn't need it, and it can actually get her killed, but sidestep 1 creates that force field of poking.
Yeah.
It just leads to other hits. You can't just go, okay, she whiffed, and then try to kill her.
Yeah.
The move recovers so good and goes into, like, evasive moves like Haishida 4.
Yeah. And yeah, you can, if she does, you know, if you do sidestep 1, Haishida, and then you cancel the Haishida into, you know, down forward 1, 2, or whatever, you know, if you want to just keep going with your poking game. Yep. I mean, you can backdash out
going
and do
into while standing 1. That's the fucking one I hate. Do it into while standing 1, the advancing fucking tracking mid move of justice.
So stupid.
But here you go, kids. Here's another interesting strat you might not be aware of. Just a random fucking tidbit.
Good, we want those.
That I picked up in my Nina counterplaying or whatever, is if sidestep 1 hits you and she does the while standing 4, this is a common thing really fucking good because, you know, it goes right into the free mix-up, and while standing 4 is a really safe, fast option that comes out of it.
Yeah, of course.
So if she hits you with the sidestep 1, and then she does while standing 4, she's punishable because the 4 will miss. It just will.
Nice.
So,
that's another thing
fucking killer.
I remember you mentioning the last time we spoke about Nina.
So just she has to keep mixing up her shit. Anytime you block a sidestep 1, anytime you get hit with it, there's a mix-up attached to it. I mean, obviously, most of the time you just want to play it safe, but if, however, she hit you with sidestep 1 and went into while standing forward, look for the free hits.
Absolutely, we love free hits here, so...
Especially when the character is so rare to come by them.
Absolutely. Yeah. Dumb. And then, we talked about the dumb wall carry, the damage. God, I just hate her so much. I just really do. And that's pretty much her summed up in a nutshell. Is just to say that she has way more than one character should have. You know, options.
It's all she fucking is.
Options.
Other characters, if you cripple them in one way or whatever, it affects their game drastically. She just has more fucking tools. You just have to make her play patient, and you have to try to force a spacing situation that she's less comfortable with. Or mix up the spacing situation a trillion times.
Yeah, and if, at least for you specifically, I mean, you for sure are a good example because you played Dragunov, and that is his game, which we will get to, kids. We will get to
sneak previews.
Yeah, sneak previews. But, so, I mean, that's especially important for the character you play. And then, for my character, I mean, spacing is important for every character, but, I mean, mine as well, because, with Armor King, you have a really long shoulder, so, I mean, you can play that spacing game. You have the God Fist, and Cartwheels, which, my personal fave. But, I mean, you have the long-range options and the whiff options especially. So, I mean, you have to play that spacing game, and if your character...
I feel like we're just giving generic strats against any character. That's what I don't like. Like, when you have to play Nina and you say, oh, well, you just have to keep mixing up. You have to keep mixing up your spacing. You have to keep looking out for this. Just keep sidestepping. Try to make her use other moves, blah, blah, blah. The strats like these are so fucking generic, but it's all that you can really rely on against Nina.
Yep, I completely agree.
Yep. A generic fucking just keep mixing it up, whatever. And I'm not just bitching at Nina. There's lots of characters, but at least when we talk about these other characters, they're so fucking good, like Steve. There's at least some other tidbit we can really give, but Nina...
something specific that you can point to, like, okay, here's, if you can get into this situation, that's perfect. And
it's like the kids are bitching about the Lars shit that we were talking about. I mean, granted, he can deal with some of that shit, but it's not our fucking job to say, well, just keep mixing up, you'll win.
Yeah.
Keep outguessing him as long as you can, and you'll fucking win. Shut the fuck up. We're trying to give you a real fucking strat. Something to start with.
Yeah, I agree. And that's really something important for listeners to understand, is that when you're discussing a top-tier character, there's a reason that character is top-tier. So, I mean, if you want to walk into a match and just say, oh, this character's top-tier, there's nothing I can do, I'm just going to do random shit and hope that it works, well, cool, I guess. I mean, if that's fun for you, go ahead and do it. But I would like to have something specific, and I would like to know where the weaknesses are. And with Lars, you know, you and I, and I've said this, you know, we have differing opinions on him as a character. But I mean, there's, even as much as you think he sucks, he has tools, you know? So
he has tools. We're just trying to break down his least rewarding
So it's
tools.
not like either one of us is saying, oh my god, just don't play this character at all. If you play somebody who plays...
Go up to your tourney bracket runner and say, switch me with someone else.
Yeah. And it's not like, you know, if you play somebody who plays that character that you're going to be like, oh my god, you know, free wins, you know? It doesn't work that way. But, you know, with top-tier characters, and I completely agree with you on Nina, you know, it's really hard to pinpoint down one thing. Even with, like, you know, I know that Law is in most people's top 5, and he's your number 1, so he's a good example. Or you mentioned Steve as well. But, like, there are particular points to his game. 99% of it is good, but you can point at 1% and say, okay, that for sure is a weakness. And you can't really do that with Nina.
You say something like, law can't punish you from half screen, and kids will jump on, well, he has back two, too. Okay, well, he's not fucking launching you for half-life, so we've created a better situation than most.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, throw out Death Fist. We're not telling you to just fucking throw that shit out. He can sidestep it, fucking launch you, but if you know that he has a harder time dealing with it, then fucking think about it.
Yep, just remember that, kids. It's all about developing a game plan, you know, stop.
We say she has no range. Well, fucking A.
I mean, she has stuff, but, it's a better situation for you than other situations, so.
I'm glad you agree.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And I guess that's a good segue into, the next portion of our discussion, because, unless you have something to add, that's really all I have for the...
No, I'm good.
Specific areas.
I've been bitchy enough. This is what happens when I get sick, kids. Yeah. I'm even fucking dumber than usual.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I like my my bitch is dumb, so...
I will be your bitch any day then.
So,
just gave me a free pass.
But on this, we usually talk about tiers and where we put these characters on the tiers, and you and I are pretty much right on the same page with this. I think she's number 2. You think she's number 2, I believe, if I remember correctly.
Michael Winslow thinks she's number 2?
Yeah, Michael Winslow thinks she's number 2. Everybody thinks she's number 2, and I'm sure there's some people out there who think she's number 1, and I would have a hard time arguing against it.
I'll say it right now, you fucking wrong. Fuck off.
This guy over here has no problem telling you that you're wrong, but I tend to give people the benefit of the doubt sometimes. So, but in either case, I mean, she's top tier. I would say that probably the reason that you don't see more Ninas out there is because the Haishida step, like doing that is a little difficult. But I still, even despite that, I mean, she's so easy to play. I don't know why more Ninas aren't out there, but, it is what it is. We still think she's top tier, and I would have to see some pretty convincing evidence to think otherwise. So, yeah, anything you want to add to that, Dan?
She's a cunt.
Thank you. I'm so glad that you said that. Okay, so, since Dan, you started this section, I guess we need to do it again. And I have, unless you have a female voice, I actually have one lined up.
Do it.
Okay, so we're going to do low parry juggles for Nina, brought to you by somebody who has a much sexier voice than us, or at least me. Not so Dan, but here we.
Yeah, I'm pretty fucking girly.
Okay. Just a second. Here we go.
Side step right, 1, 2, back forward 2, up forward 4, instant while standing 1 time, 6, forward 3.
Oh.
You like that?
Wait.
So, I should clarify a little bit because, the notation looks really funky. You done? Did you finish? Because, we're trying to...
Just give him. You go ahead. You can keep the...
You know what? No, I'm a gentleman. I'll wait for you.
I'm gonna take a nap.
But the notation's a little funky. So, for those of you who aren't aware, and I don't know how you wouldn't be, but women don't play video games. It's that simple. At least not competitive video games. So it's a little hard to read notation you're not used to. So essentially, after a low parry, you would sidestep right, and then 1 to back to up forward 4. So it'd be like I don't even know what it's called, the 1 squiggly back. You're basically doing 1 back up forward 4, except you're doing it really fast. Okay, so that's if you couldn't read that very much. And yeah, fucking stupid instant while standing stuff. Gotta love it. Love that move.
My one regret to these podcasts right there, I just had it. I wish I'd have paid homage to Spam Guy and yelled out Harrison Ford at the end.
Oh, you should have. He was right here.
He would have loved that.
Nothing. Go back to doing laundry.
We love you. Harrison Ford!
This is, oh, he heard you. This is why we love this podcast so much, and why you the people will love it, do love it, should love it. So okay, so that's all I have for Nina. Unless you wanted to throw some shit out there for the people listening at home.
Nope, I would have just said the same word again.
Okay.
I've said it enough.
Very well. You know, and I really wish she was a cooler character. Actually, no, I don't. I just wish they'd take her out of the game. I hate her. She's stupid. She doesn't even really have any cool...
This is the hatred I was looking for.
She doesn't even have any cool move names. She doesn't have any. They're not there.
Oh, man.
They're just not there.
That's true. That's true. She doesn't have an Overlord Demon Strike or whatever the fuck.
Exactly. I want those, you know?
The abortion punch.
Exactly. I mean, my character has plenty, but with this character, nothing. Divine Cannon. I mean, we say that because we're too lazy to say down back 3+4. But that's the only reason we say it. We don't enjoy saying Divine Cannon.
I bet even her multi-throw names are fucking gay.
Dumb.
Just slinging the pejoratives here, kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
It isn't really a homosexual move.
So, okay, so well, I want to get into some random topics then.
Ready?
Because I have one.
A good part of the podcast.
Yes, the random topics. If you're not...
For those of you that aren't interested in the random topics,
shame on you.
You fuck off now.
Yeah, and shame on you as well. Go masturbate to your hentai and let the cool kids do their thing.
Or just loop that low Perry section.
Yeah, you could do that too. That was my girlfriend, so I don't mind. Whatever.
Hey.
Listen, I like people to understand that I enjoy what I have. I appreciate it, and that other people should appreciate it as well. So,
you are so romantic.
I am. It's what I do.
That's romance right there. You can masturbate to my girlfriend.
Because I'm proud. I'm proud of it. So, okay, so speaking of things that I'm proud of, I don't know if you saw this, Dan. I'm really hoping that you did, because it'll make things, the conversation go much smoother.
Okay.
But for all you kids that are not aware, there was a fight at a video game tournament very recently. Do you know what
Fisticuffs are we talking about?
Yes, real fisticuffs. Okay, well, you must not have seen this. Because there is a tournament called The Break out in New Jersey. I actually believe the arcade.
It happened in New Jersey?
Yeah.
A fight?
No, go figure. But, and this shit was caught on the stream. And
was the situation involved?
Was what?
Was the situation involved?
No, he should have been. But there weren't any women involved, so...
No Snooki?
Yeah. He couldn't punch any women, so there weren't... But, okay, so since you don't know about the situation, I'll just throw it out there in case anybody else did it. Well, first of all, it was, as far as I know, there were only 2D games at the tournament, so I guess it doesn't really surprise me too much if you're mainly a Tekken player and not really cruising the SRK boards. But this was caught on the stream, and it's still up on YouTube. I do not know the link. I will link it in our thread as soon as I put this podcast up so that you guys can see it. But there's a tournament that they hold out in New Jersey in the arcade, I believe, is called The Break. But I don't know if it's for sure, if it's like a monthly or weekly or what exactly it is, but it's a fairly regular tournament from my understanding. I've seen it posted before. But I don't know the entire situation of what happened. All I know is the essentials, that someone was talking shit, someone else was already irritated because they were losing, and then they started throwing fisticuffs. So I was going to ask you, that was going to be my topic, is like, what do you think about this whole break situation? But now that it's new to you and it's novel, I guess I'll just ask you that question then. What do you think about this whole fighting? And it was a real fight. They even broke, like the guy threw a punch, hit him, and then I guess they exchanged a couple of punches or whatever, and they got into the grappling technique, you know. And they even broke some whatever like TV or whatever that they were playing the game on, and they were playing Marvel, go figure, because that game pisses everyone off. But whatever they were playing Marvel on, it was the machine that was right behind that station, because the guy who gets jacked is standing behind, you know, the players. And the player who throws the original punch is one of the people playing at the time. But it was pretty ridiculous, and you're gonna have to check out this video because it's
I absolutely
kind of
will.
funny. But I want to know your opinion on it now that you know that there was a big fight at this arcade.
Well, first thing I want to know is what fucking character the other guy was using. That's my first thing. Man, that's my fucking character I'm maining in MVC now, right there.
Just to piss somebody off.
Yeah, this character's apparently pretty good.
Yeah.
I want to know how fucking cheap the other guy was.
I honestly don't know, but that is interesting to know because like that's unleashing like a demon onto somebody else, you know, like you're pissing off your opponent so badly that they punch a spectator. You know?
Oh, your strategy! Oh!
Well, you know, again, I don't know the full details of the situation. From what I've heard around the water cooler, the dude who was talking shit, so I've been told, was he was talking shit like about regions, and I guess this guy was the person playing was from some other region, and I don't know. He's saying, you know, this region can't beat that region, blah blah blah. You know, he's just talking shit. He was just, you know, talking shit, and you know, he got punched for it, and that's really all I know. But to be honest, I think that's all you really need to know. Somebody was talking shit. Somebody got too pissed off. You know, and that's what happened. So
it happened. I'm not entirely surprised. There's been so many tournaments where I've seen kids just walk away from the TV and fucking spike their controller, throw their custom-made joystick that cost them like $80 to make and everything. They just fucking throw it into the wall.
Yeah. Well,
people get passionate.
I see that as a little bit of a different scenario, though, because most of the time when that's happening, they're mad about the game, you know? And I think that's why most fights don't happen or break out, is because the person who gets really mad is mad at the game. So how are you going to blame the person who you're playing? You know, they didn't do anything to you personally.
Oh man, people do though.
Well, I mean, they talk shit and everything, but
especially if like you're just turtling or whatever. Oh, that ticks people off so bad.
That's true.
I don't want to chase you all fucking day, dude.
But you're but even then, you're still playing within the realm of the game. So I mean, like like the game, and I personally can understand how Marvel can make you this mad. But the game would have to make you so mad that you can't. There's not enough frustration in the world that would relieve you of the anger toward the game, so you have to lash out at somebody else around you. Yeah,
I'm not entirely surprised. I'm just saying, it's only a matter of time. People get so pissed.
That's true.
People walk away crying sometimes.
Well, you know, most of the time I see the crybaby stuff happen. It's usually when you have some kid who's really good, who's like 15, 16 years old, you know.
Oh yeah, they thought they were the next fucking Amadeus of Tekken or whatever.
That every time I've ever seen anybody cry about a video game, that's where it was. You know, it's a young player who, you know, they may have been pretty good, even if they were really good. You know, and I won't name any names, but you know, I have seen some instances of some really, really good players and some big names out there that were just young kids, and you know, they got into a situation where, you know, they break top 3 and they're about to win the tournament or something, and they lose. And, you know, they're really upset. And, you know, that's just like a growing pain in life, you know? It's like skinning your knee for the first time. It's like, oh, my God, this hurts so bad.
This was supposed to be the time that I win the tournament.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm the wizard. That movie's about me.
I know. Exactly. But, you know, like, I just never saw like people getting so angry that they were willing to punch the person next to them. But it also it brings up a good point though, or a good topic to you know, to cover, because we love our shit talk, you and I, and most people do. You know, it's like part of the thrill of going to these events is shit talking. But
if you don't expect it, man.
Yeah, well, not only if you don't expect it, but if you are taking it really personally, or like you don't know really where the line is, or if you're the person talking shit, if you're like throwing out stuff that's really personal. And I guess my one caution to everybody is, from here on out, be careful when you're talking shit to people who are playing Marvel. I'm just telling you that right now. That game...
You might get a mouthful of tokens.
Yes, that game just makes people angry. It just does. That game is not built for fun. It is built for frustration. And
I wonder how many podcasts in a row we are going to hate on that fucking game.
oh, God, I can't stop hating on it because everybody knows it sucks. Everybody, even the people who play it, know that. Ugh. I mean, I don't know who told me, but somebody said that.
I guess not every game can be as perfect as this guy 4.
That's true. That's very true. They can't be, but some can at least try. But and somebody told me this a while back, not long after Marvel 3 first came out, that Justin Wong had said that Marvel 3 was the cheapest game he'd ever play. And well, duh, he's gonna play it. He's really good at that shit. He wants your money.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't care if it sucks. He doesn't care if it's frustrating. He's like, whatever. I win 9 out of 10 tournaments.
Between rounds, he's turning around and he's just fucking. Each one of you is a money sign to him, and he's just fucking counting the S's.
Yeah. And I mean, I know that you miss out on a lot of money if you only play second at a tournament or whatever, but, you play second at final round or Evo, you're still getting a couple grand. So, I mean, what is there to bitch about if you lose in the finals? I mean, sure, it sucks. I mean, it's like gambling, you win, you lose out on a bunch of money, but he's still...
You could still afford to buy grills and then put, like, that little whistle in the fucking front.
And yeah, and especially for how many people are playing that fucking game right now. And like, what is it, Wednesday night fights? Is that I think that's the weekly that they have out in California or whatever, in SoCal. Like, there's a good number of people that show up to that tournament. I don't know exactly how many, but it has to be at least like 30, 40. And you figure Justin Wong, I don't think he's lost one since Marvel 3 came out. I mean, there's your paycheck right there. I mean,
fuck work.
Yeah, and I mean,
sit at home and play shitty games that you hate all fucking day.
Yeah.
And tell yourself that you wouldn't do it too.
But
I dare you.
I just thought the shit talking thing was like really, really interesting because that's the first time I've ever seen anybody get into some fisticuffs over shit talking, and I really want to know what that guy said. Like,
I've had some serious game rage. That's why I can't say anything. I've been an asshole.
Well,
yeah.
I've been an asshole too, and I've seen people get bitched out. I've bitched out some people. Yelling at somebody is one thing. Throwing your fist. And like he connected, like he straight, and it was like he launched him.
Of course he's gonna connect. The other guy's just fucking paying attention.
Yeah, exactly. But like he comes out of his chair, and launches himself. And I've never seen that shit. I mean, holy crap! I did think it was kind of funny. Somebody did mention that they were a little concerned that after this. I mean, obviously, who knows if they'll ever have a tournament at the break ever again because of that. I mean, most places, if it's bringing in business, they'll just be like, okay, whoever that were, they're just not allowed back.
Riff-raff.
Yeah, but, I mean, I can't imagine that those tournaments bring an insane amount of business to that arcade. So who knows what'll happen with that. But I did think it was, how should I word this? Like,
do your hitting in the game, kids. We're trying to tell you that.
Well, you do your hitting in the game, but... Oh, man, I just lost my train of thought. Somebody had mentioned that... okay, I got it now. Sorry. Hold on. The train just got back on the tracks. But somebody had mentioned how they were a little worried that, maybe some people would get the wrong impression about gamers and stuff because of this fight. And I thought it was kind of funny because they were...
Them nerds be crazy.
Yeah, I know. Like, they were specifically concerned...
Ritalin does fucking terrible things to people.
Yeah, with like, and that was exactly my response, because I was like, really, even if this one isolated incident gets around, I highly doubt that video gamers from here on out will hold this stigma of being these huge badasses that just get in the...
Them Jersey nerds, they need to switch to decaffeinated Coke.
Yeah, and I don't lie, I've seen...
Sugar-free.
I've seen some pretty big dudes on the tournament circuit, but, I mean, come on. My imagination, like when I think of some dude sitting there playing Halo all day, it's not a 220-pound UFC fighter. I'm not really worried about it all that much.
Yeah.
And when I heard this person, they were like, yeah, I'm afraid, like sponsors, might start to get worried and stuff. I was like, okay, first of all, sponsors really aren't going to care about one isolated incident unless it's like on a really, really huge stage. Second of all, have you watched Showtime lately? I think fighting is pretty cool. In fact, if we start doing porn at tournament events, I think we'll get more sponsors. So
I'm listening.
yeah, see, that's
Harrison Ford.
see, that's all it takes. You know, in fact, I think fighting kind of increased our chances of getting sponsors at tournament events. You know, because who knows when somebody's just going to
Drama can happen. Huh?
Yeah, exactly. You know, I really don't think we have to worry about sponsors going away. In fact, I think we have to worry about sponsors inundating us, you know, with offers. It's like, can you get that dude who was fighting? Can he?
What's his screen name? Is that the situation?
I remember many years ago, and yes, it has been many years. It's been like eight or nine,
Shit.
which, you know, is over
Circa.
a third of my life, so it's significant. But it's been myself and a few of the people around here. We went to California, or not California, Chicago, for this little yeah, it's a big difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
we're talking like 16 hours or 4.
yeah, it's more like 26 hours. But in any case, we went to Chicago for this little tournament, and it was for Soul Calibur, and we were there staying at WZ Maxie's place. Actually, sorry, we weren't at his place, but he was running the tournament, and
The fucking greatest.
yeah, and that guy is one of my personal heroes, and that will never. I mean, he's one of my top people in the world, and he has his own temper issues, but he you know, we were there playing and everything, and he was trying to get like a little bit of hype, a little bit of exposure for the gaming scene, and an MTV crew was there, and MTV did this special at the time. It was like an hour-long special about like just video games, the scenes, competitive scenes, stuff like that. And this was part of that. It was the special itself was not centered around fighting games or Soul Calibur, just competitive games in general. And they had this MTV crew there.
And they filmed Maxie. That's the greatest. I can already imagine how that would go.
I actually don't know. I can't remember if they actually got him or not. I can only imagine they did because I only caught snippets of it.
He doesn't even need to be playing for him to get pissed.
That's true.
He's fucking hilarious.
That's so very true. But
who the fuck is this faggot playing so fucking cheap? I've seen some great ones.
I have as well, and
I love the guy.
And not even in tournament. I'll actually tell you my favorite Maxi story here in a moment. But they had this MTV crew there, and I remember specifically one moment during the event, and quite a few people showed up. I think it was like it was only one game. It was Soul Calibur 2, and that was the only game that he was running. And there were like 20, 30 people who showed up to this, and it was at somebody's apartment. It was rather, you know, it was a big apartment, but, you know, it was still an apartment. So there were a lot of people crammed in there. And
right.
There were two players from Chicago who play each other very often. And I will go out, I won't name their names, but one of them was, I will just say straight out, a better player than the other one. But as games are, as competitive scenes and just competitiveness is in general, you know, every once in a while you're still going to lose to somebody so long as they're competent, even if you're a better player. So they were playing in this tournament, and the better player lost, and he got so mad, and he threw his like arcade stick, and it was a custom stick, just like, you know, the example you were using earlier, and he threw this bitch into the corner as hard as he could. He was a big guy, but it doesn't matter. You throw a stick that far into a corner, and you break it, and I actually don't think it broke somehow, but, you know, you do that, and, you know, it's bound to get some attention, and obviously you're a little angry, but I, like, thinking about this whole fighting game thing, and, you know, we talk about sponsors and people getting interested, the first people to go up to, like, everybody's, you know, somebody gets mad at a tournament or a game or something, you know, everybody just stays quiet, or you walk away, you look away, you let them cool off. No. MTV crew?
MTV wants it.
Listen,
for fucking
so what happened? I mean, why were you so mad? Well, what just happened there? I mean...
I can see those fucking sponges.
Oh.
Drama?
I mean, I don't know what they were doing beforehand, but whatever it was, they were done. That whatever they were focused on, nope. I don't care about.
There's a story here.
There's a story here. And I guess, there's a pro and con to this whole fight story. The con, obviously, is you don't want people fighting at a tournament, especially if it's a surprise fight.
But you can get fucking Viacom interested in your shit if you do.
Exactly, and that's like the...
Actually, that what you're bringing up is kind of like a fact of the fighting game life too. Is there's always going to be some player that is better than the other player, but the other player maybe he's putting in the time, so he ends up surpassing that other player. This shit happens fucking every community almost weekly, and fucking passes them up, and that other player just melts fucking down. They can't believe they're losing to this guy anymore. And everything.
Actually, this situation it actually never turned out that way. The better player actually just continued to get better.
Oh, okay.
However, I'm so glad you set me up for this reference because it's just like
So MTV, if you're listening, that shit that'll happen.
No. Listen to this reference, the one I'm going to give you. It's just like Rick Moranis said in Little Giants. 99 times out of 100, you're going to lose, but there's that one time. Okay, it still leaves that one time, and I love to think.
Oh my
God. So there's a little nugget for you guys out there.
I can't believe that was one giant setup for fucking the Little Giants Rick Moranis quote. My day is fucking made.
Except it wasn't a direct quote, but it's it's good enough.
Whatever. We're good here.
But
I wish you'd have told me to take my pants off for that.
Oh, yeah, I'm so sorry. I should have. So that's what we do. We give you early '90s and prior references and. And that's how we stick with our life, okay? So it's only fun if you do it that way, kids, okay? But that is one thing that, talking cereal right now, there's one thing I like about, Tekken and fighting games in general is that, you have that surprise factor. And that's actually kind of a good thing to throw out, because I did hear some people talking about, like, the whole comeback factor, how it's starting to get ridiculous, and another reason that I hate Marvel is because of the X Factor bullshit, but,
Oh, yeah.
kind of has it as well, with the Rage. It's not nearly as broken, but,
But it used to be.
Yeah, it did used to be. Oh, God. And from the looks of it, it almost looks like they're going to have two versions of that in Tekken Tag 2.
Because they're going to have
the regular
Netsu.
Rage and Netsu, which is just going to be stupid, but...
Get excited, kids!
Yeah, it'll still be fun, because it's Tag.
Are you the guy that's always losing in Mario Kart but wins because you get the blue shell? Have we got the fighting game for you?
I love it. Well, another...
Are you losing in Blitz? Get prepared to start fumbling all the time.
We're going to give you a slowdown feature. But, okay, well, we've spent, like, over half of our time now not talking about Nina, so I feel fulfilled.
My life's good.
Yeah, that's all I have. The only thing I have left, unless you wanted to jump in and throw something in there, was our final rant. So, do you have anything?
I already ranted the fuck out earlier. I'm ready to just listen.
Damn it! I wasn't prepared for this.
That's the best way to do it.
It is the best way to do it. But when you feel like all ranted out, Okay, well, first let me intro you for those who somehow this is your first podcast listening to us. Again, and I'll keep saying this, I don't know how this can be your first time. It's kind of just one of those things where you should have had your cherry popped long ago by our voice muscles. And but if
yours are particularly sexy.
Oh, well, thank you. I'll try to keep getting my voice deeper. And somehow lowering my tone every.
You know what? If you did that, if you started talking deeper, these podcasts would take me about 2 minutes.
Oh man, and we can just keep doing that over and over again and see how many.
It's like bam, podcast's over. I'm spent.
You just fall asleep right as we're.
Face into cornflakes. I'm done.
Okay, so for those who are unfamiliar, we do this final segment. Where we just kind of bash on whatever we feel like bashing on. So I guess it's my turn to flip out on something.
I'm sure it's actually my turn or something, but I'll get you next time double.
I actually have a feeling it is my turn because I know
okay,
I had Mike last time, and we put him on the spot, and then I actually think it was you before. So I think it's back to me.
All right.
Back to me. So let's
get on it, motherfucker.
You know what? I'll actually just take up the argument from a topic that's actually already out there that I know that a lot of people are irritated about, or even if you
is this a hot topic like an abortion thing where people are going to disagree with you?
No, we don't do politics here. I mean, it's possible. I think some people may disagree with me, but
I like topics that can be disputed either way. I'm just saying.
That's true. Well, if we were going to do
the abortion where you can go either way or whatever, even though
If we were going to do that, I would just stick to Marvel. Every single rant I had would be about, and we would never move on from Marvel. But anyway,
you don't think so?
So we'll just do the one that I have in my head because I can't think of anything else. So, I don't know if you've heard about this, but Mortal Kombat 9, when it comes out, I actually don't even know if it already has, because I don't care about the game, I'm not going to play it. But it's going to have a feature, an online feature, and obviously, this day and age, online is pretty big. But Mortal Kombat is going to require you to pay $10 for the online feature. Which means that if you were to give it to, say, a GameStop or some other video game store where you can trade in your shit, the next person who buys that will not have online. They will have to pay $10. And I think that's bullshit.
Wait a minute. Are you saying people would trade in their Mortal Kombat?
No. I mean, I'm just saying that if, they wanted a dog instead, but they bought the game as an impulse buy and it's already opened and you can't take it back, that situation. But I just think it's kind of silly that a video game company... I mean, I guess I shouldn't be too surprised, because isn't it like EA or somebody who's making that fucking game? Those guys are, you know what? Fuck Mortal Kombat. I'm just going to rant about EA. EA is a bunch of bitches. I'm just going to throw that out there for anybody.
That is the evilest company ever.
For anybody out there who is not aware and plays video games, EA is pretty much your, damn it, what was the dude, the Wall Street guy, the broker who stole a bunch of money, Bernie, what the fuck's his last name? Can't remember what the fuck that guy's... I mean, he's in prison now, serving like 20 million years. But they are pretty much him of the video game industry. Because I know that they bought out Blizzard, or, they bought it and ended up subsidy.
It's only their fucking 300th purchase.
Yeah, and their first thing, right after they fucking bought Blizzard, was to come out and say, World of Warcraft does not cost enough. What? Fuck you. How much money do you want per month? The game...
This debate, or this topic is really just about greedy fucking companies.
It is. And this is kind of the reason that I wish that we, that I wish we had more sponsors in the tournament community. Specifically, I think the video game companies should sponsor us. Like, I think a lot of people are scared that...
Seriously?
That certain, you have these big Viacom companies that are just going to come in and they're going to run the whole tournament scene and you won't have any say and blah, 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 blah. Where are these EAs and stuff, supporting the people who play their fucking games? Where are those? Where are they? And luckily, we happen to have enough... support from, say, Namco and stuff like that, that they do stuff on occasion. But...
the national tournament, and then they're done.
Yeah, that's pretty much. But I think that's bullshit, I think they should be dedicating more money to it, but whatever. But I guess...
You wanna keep your game going for as long as it takes for you to develop the next one, where you get more money again.
I fucking hate EA. They make all those stupid fucking Maddens and shit. So
that's pretty much the only thing that that I can think of that EA, made initially, and then that supported, that gave them enough money to start, all their subsidiaries and keep buying all these other fucking companies, and they just got bigger and bigger.
Yeah, and I have no problem with that. If you start out, you're making money. I mean, that's a smart business decision to buy up other stuff that's going to make you money. But I mean, at this point, it's basically price gouging.
Yeah, and all they do with their Maddens is they update the names, they update the stats, and they don't ever really have to do anything creative. They don't make the community, the entire video game community, better with their bullshit.
Yeah, and
they are a business first.
And all of those games, all of those sporting games, I swear to God, have not gotten any graphically better since like 2002. After the jump from PS1 to PS2, like that's when it stops. So why invest more money in making it look good? It looks good enough. I mean, I don't need to play the game to know that when a player catches a game or a ball in one of the Maddens, that it still teleports into their hand. Yeah. I still know that happens, and I don't play any of the recent ones, so whatever. But
They make such a big deal out of the little things that they add, but if you compare it to actual innovation that other companies are making, there's nothing fucking going on. It's been the same game, but that's actually something I remember Maxie saying is the reason EA is so big is because they never exceed the crap level. Like the average customer just wants their same crap over and over and over again, and EA just keeps giving them the one thing that they kind of want. They just want to be playing NFL games. They don't need to be playing good NFL games or anything like that. They just want to be playing that. So EA never forces the issue. They never actually do fucking anything new.
Yeah, you're exactly right. That's exactly.
That's why some fighting games actually fail too, is because they exceed the crap level and people have to get too fucking smart.
Absolutely, and that's the same reason why certain books sell well and why Hollywood does so well, because
What's up, Dan Brown? I'm just gonna fucking call you out there.
Nice, I like that. But I mean, it's true. It's true everywhere too. I mean, I don't care what country you're from. Your average person still loves their same bullshit. So.
And they want to listen to the fucking Katy Perry. They don't want to listen to a fucking smart, complex song. There's too many beats!
Do I feel like you just made an MC Lars reference without actually saying his name?
No, not at all, even.
Okay. Real quick, though, before we end the podcast, I was going to tell you my favorite MC Maxi, or WC Maxi story. I'm on the MC Lars kick, so I called him MC Maxi.
Listen to MC Lars, kids. Yeah. He's good for the soul.
But my favorite WC Maxi story, and I know there are better ones out there, but this is my favorite because I was actually there for this. We're in a car, and we're actually in Chicago one weekend, and we're visiting, and we're in his car, and he's driving us around. I think we were going to Lou Malnati's, which is a great pizza place. It's
Italian in general, they're just fucking awesome.
My number 2 favorite restaurant, actually, yes, number 2 favorite restaurant, number 2 pizza place in the world of everything that I've tried. But I'm a Chicago deep dish kind of guy, so anyway.
And if you aren't, you suck.
Yeah. So we're on our way somewhere like that, and I'm in the back seat, and for whatever reason, we get in the car, and his fucking overhead light will not turn off. And he just keeps hitting it, and it doesn't do anything, whatever, and he's just still fucking with it, turns on the car, we're driving, and still fucking with it, nothing. And I don't think anything happened. I don't think anybody cut him off. I don't think he got a middle finger from anybody, but he just uppercuts this thing, and I swear his roof indented a little bit when he hit it, and all he did was yell, "Shut off." It was amazing. He was like, "Shut off!" Shattered. And, really? Did that just happen? Why?
That's totally sounds like him.
And just, there was no preface, there was no build-up. It just happened. Okay, well, eventually it'll shut itself off, or just get used to it. Nope. It's time to destroy this thing. It's irritating. But that's my favorite.
Maxi's fucking awesome.
My favorite Maxi story, and I hope he's doing okay, because I know he's living in Japan right now. But I think he lives in Tokyo, and I think Tokyo for the most part was okay, with the exception of the rolling blackouts that I think they're having right now. So
good luck to them.
Yeah, so that's all I have. So I do wish him the best of luck. Random tangent, but Dan, do you have anything else to add before we let the kids go?
Did I tell you the abortion joke?
Oh my God, no! But you have to end it with that.
All right. You know what awkward is?
Yeah.
Is going to the abortion clinic during one of those rallies, and then locking your keys inside the car and having to go inside and ask for a coat hanger.
You know what? I actually think you just told me that, but it was so worth it saying that. That is so amazing.
I told somebody I would tell everybody about that on the podcast.
Well,
so
there you go.
Shout out to John.
Well, you know what? We can't get any better than that, so I'm just going to end it right there. Thank you, kids, for listening, and we hope you enjoy your abortion.